Welcome into Crypto Info, Blockchain Made Easy with your host, Frank the Crypto Tank, here on Thursday, August 21st, 7 a.m. Colorado time. Welcome in. Today's episode, XRP ETFs. Who is first with these XRP ETFs? We're going to discuss all that in today's episode. Please go ahead and tap that like and subscribe down below. And please don't forget to tap our Caleb affiliate link down below as well for your one-stop crypto brokerage service, open 24/7, and you get your personal crypto broker assigned to you at no extra cost at all. Please check out Caleb for the details down below. Today, XRP, the ETFs. Who is first for the S1 filings of the XRP ETFs? We're going to get into that today. Also, well, just so we know, so the S1 filings are for the ETF filings with the SEC, various types, longs, two-time long, futures, etc., so on and so forth. We'll get into all that in a little bit, but these filings, what will happen is something like a Fidelity or whatever will send in something called an S1 filing, which is their filing to say, hey, we want an XRP for this ETF, and this is the type of ETF. So we're going to get into all that today, and then 19B4s, and we're going to get into everything today. Filed by, put out, of course, by the exchange itself that puts the ETF up there, like New York Stock Exchange or whatever. So we're going to demystify all of this for you today, all this mumbo jumbo, S1, 19B4, blah, 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 blah. How all this stuff works. It's actually pretty simple. Welcome in. Jock, good afternoon. Welcome in today to the program, and other folks, welcome into Crypto Info, Blockchain Made Easy with Frank the Crypto Tank. Today's topic, XRP ETFs and who is first. Now, we saw Bitcoin and Ethereum do very well. Bitcoin kicked butt with its ETF, did particularly well. XRP is up next. This fall, we're going to get the approval, very likely for a few ETF filings, XRP ETF filings. I thought there were 19. There could be 20 now or even more. Last count was 19 or 20, I do believe. Excuse me. Excuse me. An XRP ETF wouldn't be just another crypto product, of course, that's put out, another ETP, exchange traded product. This would be, well, basically, let's think about this. Okay, so XRP, look at what Bitcoin did and look at what Ethereum did with their ETFs. Now, let's consider XRP not bound up anymore by the lawsuit or any other legal or lawful things that could be maybe a little bit strange for fiduciary, concerning a fiduciary responsibility, right? That some of these companies have to their holders that they're like, well, we want to touch XRP, we kind of can't just yet. And that door is opening. Trillions of dollars coming in from TradFi. Trillions and trillions and trillions. So what does an XRP ETF mean? What does it matter? I've got in my notes, I'm saying a number of things. I'm not going to hit every one of these. I'll be here forever. But an exchange-traded fund is a product, of course, that trades on the stock market, just like an Apple stock or a Tesla stock, which we all know allows for everyday investors, institutions, and retirement funds to get exposure to an asset without having to buy or hold it directly. And might I add, without having to fumble and learn the wallets and so forth, which is why a lot of these folks are going to be jumping in. So for XRP, it is a game changer. The majority of global money isn't just sitting on Coinbase, Binance, or crypto wallets, of course. It's sitting in brokerage accounts. It's sitting in pension funds. It's sitting in sovereigns. It's sitting in institutional portfolios. So an XRP ETF means that pension funds basically can have exposure without having issue or fumbling with wallets and so forth. 401k now can be included due to President Trump's 401k executive order allowing land, private equity, and now cryptocurrencies or digital assets to come into retirement accounts. That is a huge thing for us. Good morning, everybody in the comments today. Not today, Club 2, what's up? Monsager, what's up? And Mahidin. No, it's Mahidin, right? I think it's Mahidin. Good morning. Welcome in. Great day, guys. They will approve XRP ETF. ETF of XRP. Yes, they will. And they're going to coming up this fall, very likely. Mahidin, probably like 3 or 4 of them. I'm guessing you're a male. I don't know. 93% of my audience is a male. I don't know the name. It's a cool name, though, and I hope I'm saying it correctly. Yeah, in my opinion, I think that we're going to have at least 3 approved right off the rip. Like 3 of them, which would be crazy. Yeah, that'd be cool if we had 3 of them right away, wouldn't it? That'd be fun. Because we could see 5 right away. We could not see any. We could see 1. By the way, never financial advice on the channel. Never buy or sell anything because of what I say or do, because I'm not a financial advisor. I'm a knucklehead contractor that learned all this about 6 years ago. And I've been learning incessantly, day after day, for the past 6 years, as I'm sure you all have as well, because how do we not when we're doing this, right? Not financial advice. When we invest, what can we say? We have to be careful and keep eyes on what we're investing in and know what kind of pool it's swimming in, what kind of ocean it's swimming in, which means macro markets, Forex markets. What the heck's going on? How does our money system work? You know what I mean? M0, M1, M2, M3 money. Just basics, though. Basics, just basics. The central banks of the planet and how they interplay with this whole thing. It's rather interesting, actually. I thought it'd be so boring. I think some of you who dove into all of this some time ago, because you probably did if you're investing in this stuff, right? It's kind of interesting. I always thought finance was boring. I always thought you're supposed to say finance too, but it's not. It's finance. A little joke I have, which isn't even funny. Bless you guys for following this little knucklehead, but I tried to teach. I try to help. All right, here's the precedent we have to consider. Brazil's spot ETF. And it is a beautiful day, by the way, Monsager, here in Colorado. Close to Denver, but yes, here in Colorado. By the way, Crypto Tank is on a ranch with horses, alpacas, llamas, goats, all kinds of critters out on the property. And it's fun. And boy, do we love it. It's fun. It's then country dude who actually came from finance area, which is Connecticut, some time ago and got schooled there amongst a whole bunch of money peoples in that area. Very interesting. Anyway, found my way here in this area of Colorado. And boy, what an interesting time and what an interesting place it is here in Colorado. I will say that if you ever have a chance, please get there because we love it, and you would too. And there's good and bad everywhere, but wow, Colorado is pretty amazing. It's a pretty amazing place. Denver's Denver. All right, here's the key point we have to consider here, considering this Brazil spot XRP ETF, guys. We already have it live. As of April 2025, they launched this thing, first spot XRP ETF on the B3 exchange in Sao Paulo, which, by the way, is one of the largest. I learned in college a while ago that it was one of the largest areas in the world, growing areas in the world, of course, next to Mexico. And it may have taken over, I'm not sure, but it's one of the largest. Maybe it's in the top 5 at least. Sao Paulo. Yeah, Sao Paulo. Brazil. So anyway, two huge reasons for this. Regulators outside the U.S. more comfortable with it, considering what's been happening with the clarity, and also created a precedent. So Brazil can approve the ETF, and then anywhere in Brazil or even U.S. now can follow us, particularly given the landscape now. So Brazil's XRP, Brazil's ETF proved that XRP is ready for this whole thing. They've already done it in another market. XRP is matured into an asset class worthy of traditional finance for sure. U.S. filings and who's first in line. Well, guess what? That's where we get to this segment, where we get to Professor Tank. Here we go. Professor Tank time, because the only way to show you this is to show it to you large size. So, welcome into Crypto Info. Tap the like and subscribe, please. Help out the channel if you might. It does just kind of help me get into the proper mode of mind. No, not to perform examinations, to teach. Wise asses. All right, here you go. Now, here they are. And by the way, I was actually supposed to show you this first. XRP ETFs. Who is first in line, guys? Yeah, I know. You ruin it when you show the other side first. Oops. Told you I'm new at this. What am I going to tell you? All right, here you go. Let's do it this way. How about this? XRP ETF filings. S1 filed by the company, filed by Grayscale, Templeton, whatever. Filed by the exchange. 19B4 is filed by the actual exchange itself, like the New York Stock Exchange, etc., etc. Numero uno, a Grayscale. It was filed 10/18/25. I will talk German now as I teach with Professor Outfits. I'm kidding. Franklin Templeton, 10/24. Bitwise, by the way, the first filing filed by Bitwise. Thank you, Bitwise. First filing 10/20/2025. 21 shares filed 10/19. CoinShares filed 10/25. Volatility, not sure. ProShares, not sure. Could look it up. Canary Capital, easy enough to look up. Canary Capital, 10/25. Just threw some of them up here. Rex Osprey, Osprey, fall 2025. Wisdom Tree, by the way, second filing, Canary Capital. Thank you, Canary Capital, 10/25. Wisdom Tree, I guess maybe this was like 8 in the morning and this was kind of 10 in the morning. I don't know. Wisdom Tree, 10/25 as well. Tukrim also filed, and so did Total Capital. We'll get into some more details on these now in just a moment. Note to self, don't ever shine laser light in the eyes of YouTube or the viewers. That could be an issue. Not even funny. All right. So to get into more of this, we also have, let's see, who else do we have? We've got some more guys. Invesco and VanEck, these mid-tier ETF giants are aggressive in the crypto ETF race and could easily include XRP in the next batch. So they don't have them in yet, but they could. We could see a VanEck. We could see an Invesco. We could see a BlackRock ETF. So who's first? Based on timing, Grayscale's most likely to go first, very likely. They already had trust created, I'm pretty sure, and they're kind of like switching it over into the way they're presenting it. It will be in the form, of course, the ETP will be in the form of an ETF, and I don't know which type. I've got to find out. Sorry, I'm spilling coffee all over all my stuff. We also have, let's see, we know they have 240 days max, and then they have 45 days for first decision, and then 90 days for an extension. So 240 days for the final deadline. So it's 45 and 90, 240 for the final deadline. And here's what we should expect. By late 2025, at least one XRP ETF filing will be under review, and by mid 2026, the SEC will be forced to issue an approval or denial on at least, some. But I think we all pretty much have an idea there will be a few of them by the end of 2025. I think that might be an obvious thing. I'm pretty sure I just had a cat hair on my lip. I'm glad I caught it. The timeline is measured in months, not years, which means that by 2026, an XRP ETF. That was why I had a cat hair. I did have a cat hair. An it was an XRP ETF in the U.S. is not just possible; it's actually highly likely. And I think we all know the XRP. What this could do to XRP's price, I don't know. I think we have an idea. What do you guys think it could do to XRP's price? I think we've talked about it enough in the comments. We could talk about it more. What else are we going to do until it cranks? What will it do for the price? Okay, so when Bitcoin launched, they drove billions of dollars in inflow and helped push Bitcoin to all-time high, as we remember. Ethereum, even before a full approval, sparked rallies because investors saw writing on the wall with it, and it cranked a little bit, and it helped its case. Now, did it help it to keep running? Who knows what Ethereum would have done without the XRP? I mean, without the ETF, right? Because it could have pittered a little bit more than it did. It could have given it legs. I think it did. Marnie says, "Did you say coffee?" No. Well, I did. Did I say coffee? Yeah, I might have said coffee, but it's not coffee. I say coffee. It's coffee substitute. It's actually a coffee substitute. I don't do as a coffee except once in a while. Once in a while, I do. Okay, so XRP's price is still obviously suppressed. I think that's obvious compared to its market potential and what its real value is. World's about to see its true value, its true worth. We're getting ready to turn this thing on. It's coming. And all of us and all of you who have waited so long for all of this are getting ready to see a Cambrian explosion, A, in the crypto world, and B, blessed smock. Would never want to be a doctor. Very aggravating to wear this thing. I can't take it out. It's easier to just leave it on, believe it or not. All right, here's the deal. Let's have a laugh. Here's the deal. If you laugh at me, I could care less. It's hilarious. I laugh at me. Why wouldn't you? XRP's scarcity model with fixed supply and burning transaction fees. I somehow feel it makes me just sound smarter if I hold this pen and do this. And transaction fees. I think it translates basically to higher prices. I think the 1% global ETF allocation flowing into XRP. We'd be talking about basically tens of billions of new capital coming in, guys. At least. That level of demand, of course, could realistically push us to, we're saying double digits quickly. Could be. Guys, the probably one of the biggest switches. And what did I put for voltage yesterday? I'll have to go back in the video. My light bulb voltage for the XRP ETF, how much that played concerning light level per our episode yesterday. Anyway, this $100 path is becoming more and more obvious as we move forward here. I think it's pretty clear. And on the bigger picture, if we zoom out on this XRP ETF, thank you for letting me take that drink. XRP ETF wouldn't exist in isolation, of course, right? It's a part of a much larger environment, a much larger environment, and it's about to get huge. It's about to get much larger. The crypto space, Ripple's rolling out RLUSD. Their new already has rolled it out. Why would I say is rolling out? Rolled out RLUSD, as we know, and just purchased Rail for 200 mil. Toronto stablecoin company to push RLUSD. RLUSD, I do believe, approved by NYFDS, New York Department of Financial Services. Very, very tough to get through those gates. And we did. I think that was like 9 months ago. That was a while ago. I keep saying 9 months. That was a while ago. I remember a project I was on actually when that happened, because all day I am listening to cryptocurrency all day for the past 6 years. And not financial advice, but investing in cryptocurrencies, not financial advice. Never buy or sell anything because of what we say you do, because I'm not a financial advisor. And you can lose your shirt, your pants, and everything in crypto. Please do not invest in anything because of what we say or do on the channel. I can say what I invest in, and I'll get into some of that a little bit later. But to finish up what we want to talk about here with the XRP ETFs and how crucial this is, it, of course, is not. Sentiment plays a big part in this, by the way. This is legitimacy adoption, adoption based on legitimacy, based on wow, look at what's going on in the market. Everyday person being able to get in, not having to fumble with wallets and so forth. They can grab an XRP spot ETF and be able to, for all intents and purposes, hold an XRP, kind of. It's not the same, obviously. Not your keys, not your crypto. So if you're not holding it and you have your ETF, well, then that's okay. People like to play that way. It's a different way to play. Now, what could this do for the price? History tells us that ETFs unleash massive inflows. And for XRP, with its unique combination of scarcity, utility, and global adoption, the potential impact, of course, is freaking enormous. Enormous. Feel like I could add another cat hair and it might be in my throat. No, I got it. I got that little cat hair. The Brazil ETF proved it is possible. Of course, the U.S. filings show it's coming, and the timeline and other things, of course, too, in our landscape. Now, it's only a matter of time before we see XRP trading on Wall Street. It's coming up soon here. And next time someone asks, why is Eric talking about XRP right now? Or what's this XRP thing? Or who's it with XPR? Or what's this PX? You know what I mean? I think that I don't think they're going to be doing that. I think that this time is coming now where investors, at least the greater investing, the broader investing environment, will know exactly who and what XRP is, who and what Ripple is, why all of you, Never Financial Advice, and myself got eyes on this early and said, let me check this one out, this one in particular. There's so much more. We could run through the history. I think we all know. I mean, we have newcomers, but we're not running through the history right now. But I will say this. Anybody holding XR, okay, so never buy or sell anything, because what we say or do on the channel, I am going to run through a few more. Besides XRP, XLM, XDC, HBAR, Quant, Ethereum, Bitcoin, Solana, Mana, Sand. I would look at One and Zill, Digibyte. I would absolutely look at Caspa, Sui. Flare doesn't hurt. to look at and giving you coins to research. Never buy or sell anything because of what we say or do on the channel. I would consider looking at research. You need to research all these. I would consider researching what else? VeChain. I would research VeChain for sure. Algo, Myota, IOTA. What else? ICP. I would take a look at. A few more I would take a look at. Those are good starting points. Link, I would certainly take a look at. Those are good starting points. I don't know. What do I know? What do I know? I'm going to continue to say what I think I know. In my opinion, I am not a financial advisor. I purchased and have bags loaded. I have bags, guns loaded, bags packed on all of those. Not financial advice. Personally, and some others. About another 20, maybe 18 to 20. And for good reason, some Dogecoin, some Shiba. I like to play games with those. Nothing wrong. Mudang, Kokyu, a couple, just to play, Brain Trust. There's a couple. So, things to consider. Never financial advice. Please consider researching some of the projects I have mentioned here in this episode, and I mentioned them in quite a few episodes. Please pay heed, and guys, that's it. That's our episode. We've got filings coming. I've given you dates on a lot of them. We can cover more in some future episodes. But you guys are fantastic. Yes, we're going to do a shorter stream today. You guys are fantastic for joining us. And by the way, Jack, welcome back in. Monsager, and also Not Today Club 2 Beastie, and also Mahadine and Marnie and others in the chat and viewing. Thanks for coming into Crypto Info Blockchain Made Easy with your host, Frank the Crypto Tank. Please tap that like and subscribe down below. Don't forget to tap that Caleb link. Hope you go back in time, just kind of like a few days, and check our link with Mr. Jim Bazzani with our live interview. Our first live interview we did with Mr. Jim Bazzani from Caleb and Brown is actually very informative, laying out the differences between Caleb and Brown, which is a brokerage, crypto brokerage, versus a crypto exchange like an Uphold, a Coinbase, your Krakens and such and so on and so forth. Okay. Enjoy the day. I shall see you tomorrow morning at 7 a.m. I've got a few episodes loaded, so if you'd like, go ahead and tap bell notifications as well and hit the like and subscribe. That way you'll see, because I've preloaded live videos. That way you know what is coming up live. Have an awesome day. I shall see you tomorrow morning. Thanks for joining me, guys. I love you guys. I'll see you tomorrow morning at 7 a.m. Crypto Info Blockchain Made Easy with the Tank. Have an awesome day.